Parents of killers. What's your story? You don't throw away the drawings they made for you in kindergarten. You can't, even when their hands, the same hands that clumsily clutched a crayon to draw a lopsided heart, did something monstrous. You just move the box they're in from the living room closet to the attic, where you don't have to see it every day. That's the first step. My son Ethan wasn't born a monster. I know how that sounds, the classic defense of a grieving mother in denial, but it's the God's honest truth. He was a quiet boy, the kind who'd cry if he accidentally stepped on a snail. He'd bring home stray cats, his pockets full of conkers, and his face smudged with dirt. He smelled of rain and innocence. We had a good life. My husband David and I gave him everything we could. Love, stability, a home. We read him stories at night and taught him to ride a bike. We did everything right. Or so we thought. The change was slow, insidious. Around 16 the light in his eyes started to dim. He grew distant, locking himself in his room for hours. We chalked it up to teenage hormones, to the pressures of school. We tried to talk to him, but it was like knocking on a steel door. The silences grew longer, the excuses thinner. I'm just tired. He'd mumble, his gaze fixed on a point beyond us. We should have pushed harder. We should have broken the door down. But you want to trust your kids, don't you? You want to believe they'll find their way back. The day it happened was a Tuesday. I was making his favorite, spaghetti bolognese, for dinner. The air was thick with the smell of garlic and oregano. Then the news broke. A shooting at the local community college. 4 students and a teacher. The reporter was talking, but all I could hear was a roaring in my ears. They showed a photo of the suspect, a grainy CCTV image. It was my son, my Ethan. The trial was a blur of fluorescent lights and hushed whispers. The prosecution painted a picture of a cold, calculated killer. They showed his journals, filled with rage and hate I didn't recognize. They spoke of the weapons he'd bought online, shipped to a P.O. box we never knew existed. He just sat there, hollowed out, a ghost in a suit. He never explained why. Not to us. Not to the court. Not to the families of the people he murdered. He was sentenced to 5 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole. Now our life is measured in visiting hours. Once a month, we drive 3 hours to a concrete fortress to sit opposite our son and talk about the weather through a thick pane of glass. He looks older, thinner. The boy who cried over snails is gone. In his place is a stranger who wears his face. People ask how we go on. The truth is, you don't. A part of you dies with the victims, and another part is locked away with your child. You just exist in the space left behind, surrounded by the ghosts of what was and the horror of what is. And you never, ever throw away those kindergarten drawings.